Okay, so I gotta start this review by shouting out Keegan-Michael Key for easily giving me the best line I have heard in 2024. This dude said, "Oh my God, this is the best day of my life. I get to work for the government." I'm telling y'all, I have not been able to stop thinking about that line since the credits rolled. And if you didn't think it was funny, well, I only have one thing to say to you. Badass Tron. But this is Transformers 1. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for Transformers 1, starring Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan-Michael Key, and was directed by Josh Cooley. And our story, as simply and plainly as I need to put it, it's an origin story. It is the story of how Optimus Prime and Megatron started off as best friends and mining bots and ended up as sworn enemies. That's all you need to know. Because please, I've seen people complain about how this trailer did not necessarily portray what this movie or how great this movie actually is. Screw that noise. That's not what trailers are supposed to do. Because Puss in Boots: The Last Wish trailer didn't even touch on the greatness that movie actually had when you watch the full thing. Please, scrap all that noise. I don't care what this trailer showed y'all. This is the most fun I have had in a movie theater in 2024. I am so serious about that statement. That movie was easily the most fun I've had all year, and it completely knocked my socks off. It blew me away. Beyond that, walking into this movie, I did not know that Josh Cooley was the guy that directed Toy Story 4, which I really loved. I really loved Toy Story 4, although that is a movie that we deemed is not necessary. And honestly, this movie kind of got the same treatment where we really did not think it was necessary. But anything that Josh Cooley's name is attached to now, I am locked in. I understand his game now because he is a ridiculous director. This movie was fucking spectacular. From beginning to end, I felt like a kid on Christmas Day with the biggest grin on my face. It was so much fun. Where to begin, guys? Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about the ridiculously amazing voice performances by Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry. Chris Hemsworth, I'm going to start with him because I did not think this guy was actually that good at voice acting. I can't, like, off the top of my head recall how many voice acting projects I think he's in, but in this movie here, he embodies Optimus Prime to a T. I mean, the development that you get, like, he's not the Optimus Prime we know from the Michael Bay movies in the beginning. No, he's a very adventurous, hopeful spirit, and throughout the movie, once you develop and get into more of the Optimus Prime we know and love, and as you see him transitioning into that leader, Chris Hemsworth absolutely blew me away. Chris Hemsworth embodies Optimus Prime to perfection. The motivational speeches, the leadership, the just presence, and the primeness of who Optimus is. Chris Hemsworth did such an amazing job. Like, I truly was in awe of what he was pulling off here because I couldn't tell that was Chris Hemsworth. And there's another Chris out there who does voice acting. We all know when it's him. Pratt. I just wanted to say his name. But Chris Hemsworth here truly blew me away. This is the second time this year that this man has completely knocked me out of my seat, and the first time was Furiosa. I did not think Chris Hemsworth was going to deliver the performance that he did in this movie, but oh my God, I'm so glad he did because he brought me to tears. This movie truly satisfied the inner child Transformers fan in me. Like, the Michael Bay movies have a special place in my heart. The first two do. The Dark of the Moon doesn't, and I don't even want to talk about Age of Extinction last night, but Bumblebee has a special place in my heart too. I actually didn't mind Rise of the Beast. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. But this is, as far as like that original Transformers cartoon when they crossed over with G.I. Joe and stuff like that, and what that series captured, This movie portrays that, the original Transformers feeling. It is so good, and like I said, it brought me to tears watching Chris Hemsworth develop into Optimus Prime. It also brought me to tears watching Brian Tyree Henry develop into Megatron, because they do such a good job at having their friendship literally develop into that rivalry very slowly throughout the movie. And honestly, both sides are extremely justified, and that's what makes the movie even better. You are literally, I was on both of their sides. I understood both of their sides so well. Megatron made so much sense and had a lot of good points in his approach as to why he started to rival Optimus Prime. We're not going to get into it, but Optimus Prime had great reasons to be on his side as well. Brian Tyree Henry, my God. I mean, this man knew he had to make up for Godzilla vs. Kong, because this thing here, his portrayal as Megatron, like I said for Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry embodied everything that makes Megatron who he is. The darkness, the rage, just the fearsomeness. I mean, oh my goodness. I did not think these two guys would truly pull off these performances, but I think not only are they my favorite voice performances of the year, they are my favorite performances, or some of my favorite performances of the year. I can't necessarily say they're my favorite, but they are some of my favorite performances of the year. These two absolutely murdered it in the voice acting booth. Beyond that, Scarlett Johansson was amazing. Per usual, she's having a very underrated year as well, because Fly Me to the Moon is actually a really good movie. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. And in this movie, she's amazing as well. Keegan-Michael Key, like I said, dude not only delivered my favorite line of 2024, but B was hysterical. I absolutely love the energy that Keegan-Michael Key brought to the movie. It was so much fun. I literally just could not stop smiling the entire time. I was literally cheesing from ear to ear the entire movie. It was so amazing just watching everything just play out on screen, man. And beyond that, Jon Hamm did an amazing job. Steve Buscemi as Starscream was genius casting. Lawrence Fishburne, amazing. I'm not going to say what character he plays, because I don't know if people know if that character's in here, but Lawrence Fishburne did amazing. Beyond that, the animation is gorgeous. The animation is absolutely gorgeous, but beyond that, the storytelling, the way that they truly build what the Transformers world is currently, or they build towards like what you know it to be, it's just so amazing watching this origin story come to life. I truly hope that they do more of these movies, because they did this one right. Like, this is easily the best Transformers movie I've ever seen, and it's really not close. No disrespect to Transformers 1, Revenge of the Fallen, or Bumblebee, which I think Bumblebee is truly the best Transformers movie. But this is easily the best Transformers movie. This is easily the most fun I've had all year in a theater. I mean, I sat there just completely shocked. Just completely mind-boggled, baffled, because I did not expect this movie to be as good as it was. And like I said, personally, from the trailers, I thought the movie would just be like good, like just a good little Transformers entry. I didn't think it'd be this. It was great. It was beyond great. I'm telling you, there are so many crowd-pleasing moments. If you are a true Transformers fan, there are so many crowd-pleasing moments in this movie, especially the build-up as you are getting to, you know, Optimus Prime becoming Optimus Prime, Megatron becoming Megatron, all the foreshadowing, all the hints that they throw out to who these characters become and things like that. Once they get their cogs and they're able to transform. The story, too. The story is very emotionally just very well done. I mean that as far as like you being emotionally invested in the characters and emotionally invested in the story itself. And it's really a family film. It's really a very good family film with an amazing message about coming together, being more that meets the eye. I mean, they did that so well. Oh my goodness, man. About just having a feeling inside of you that you're supposed to be more than what you are, and you have to chase that feeling, and it's scary and all these other things. Oh my God, guys, I'm telling you, this is one of the best movies of the year. For me personally, it was easily one of the best movies of the year. I mean, this movie seriously reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem last year, where it literally just came out of nowhere and completely took us all by surprise, and ended up being one of my favorite movies of last year. And Transformers 1 did the same thing, if not a little bit better, because I had even lower expectations for Transformers 1 than I did for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In the first 30, 45 minutes, completely exceeded everything I thought this movie was going to be. I mean, truly in the first 10 minutes, I was dying of laughter, and I really thought I was going to have a fun time in this movie. But by the time I got to like the middle, like the 45-minute mark, this movie became so much more than I thought it was going to be. It literally became more than meets the eye. I mean, it truly did. This is easily one of the most pleasant surprises of 2024. It is one of the best films of 2024. I lie to you not. It is so much fun. It is truly a crowd-pleasing, heart-filled, emotionally awesome-ass time at the movie theaters. And I keep saying emotionally just because I love Transformers so much, like as a kid, and watching these characters become who they're supposed to be and go through the stuff they go through in this movie, I just truly felt myself becoming just overwhelmed, like just completely overwhelmed with joy, happiness. I was crying at times. I mean, this movie was so damn good, guys. I lie to you not. Transformers 1 is literally one of one. It is literally one of the best movies of the year, animated or not. It's amazing. Like I said, I don't know if I talked about the animation. I think I did. I'm sorry. My mind's all over the place today, but the animation is gorgeous. The animation is really good. I have a feeling I already talked about the animation, but regardless, it is. It's really good. It's really awesome. The action sequences as well. The action sequences are very smooth, sleek, stylistic, awesome, especially with Scarlett Johansson's character when she's on the bike wheels and things like that, moving. And then you got B with his knife hands. Oh my gosh, it's truly a great time at the movies. And I really want to point out, when we get to the third act of this movie, it somehow becomes even better than what you were already watching in the first two acts. And the first two acts are really good. And I'm literally thinking to myself, as the third act I felt was beginning, it's like, I feel like, normally in movies like this, the third act is kind of going to fall off a little bit. Like, it's just going to dial it down just a little bit. That didn't happen. They dialed it up. They ramped it up to 1,000, and the third act somehow became even better than the first two. The third act is one of the best parts of the film. It is literally going to have you on the edge of your seat, cheering and clapping and going fucking ballistic, because this shit is what Transformers is supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep it very simple with you. Overall, this is one of my favorite films of the year. I absolutely loved it. Have to go see it again. I am hoping that you guys give this movie the support it deserves. For all those reasons and so many more, guys, I am going to give Transformers 1 a 5 out of 5 stars. I am just as shocked as you. I did not expect to give this movie a 5, but I promise you guys, the more I think about it, the more the movie sits with me, and the more I just think about my experience with this film. It was easily the most fun I've had, and truly it was a movie that exceeded all my expectations as to what it was. I thought it was going to be, what it could be, what it ended up being. Josh Cooley is different. Toy Story 4 is one thing, but now he's got 2 of these insane hits on his hands, and I'm ready to see what he does next. But look, guys, Transformers 1, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.